Hello everyone. So we are studying the topic equilibrium of rigid bodies, and so far we have studied the different types of supports and drawing three body diagram, balancing horizontal forces, balancing vertical forces, and balancing moments across some points. So whatever we have studied, the examples and then the theory. In all cases, we have considered only point load so far. Okay, but there exist different other types of loadings. For example, uniformly distributed load and several other types of loads. So in today's lecture, we will study different types of loads, and depending on the types of loads and types of supports, we will name the beams. Okay, that means we will study different types of beams also depending on the loading condition and depending on the support conditions. Okay, and we will apply the studied theory to solve some examples also. Okay, so let's start. So in the different types of loads, the first type that you will come across is point load. So a point load is mostly represented by this arrow, short arrow, and with some magnitude, let's say W magnitude. That means W magnitude of load is acting at this particular point. So we will call it point load. Okay, so it is a concentrated load. Then next type is distributed load. Okay, so here in this case you will see that the load is distributed equally or uniformly across the complete span of beam. Okay, so this particular type of loading condition is known as uniformly distributed load. So if you see the unit of load in this case, then the unit will be kilonewton per meter. Okay, but in this case the unit of load will be just kilonewton or newton, but here you will get the intensity per meter, right? So suppose the span length is L meter, then total load acting on this beam, let's denote it by capital W, that will be equal to small w into L. Okay, that means you can replace this UDL by a point load having magnitude small w into L. So this UDL indirectly denotes a loading of magnitude W into L. Okay, where this W is the intensity of uniformly distributed load having new unit kilonewton per meter. So this W is denoting uniformly distributed load, and it is denoted by a unit kilonewton per meter. Okay, so if you multiply this W by the span length of beam, you will get total load, and this total load you can place on the beam. Okay, so where you will place to replace this UDL? So if you are placing this load in the center of the UDL, so because UDL is distributed across the complete length, so its center will be the middle of beam. So if you apply this total load at the middle, just a point load, then you can say that this situation is same as the situation shown here. I hope it is clear. Next type is uniformly varying load. And in this uniformly varying load, you will see that the load is varying. Okay. So, but it is varying uniformly. That means at one end, the loading is 0, and at the other end loading is uh, means loading is, let's say, W. So loading is up to its full potential or full intensity, that is W. Okay, so in case of uniformly varying load, you will see that this intensity of uniformly varying load is W, and its unit is same as the UDL, that is kilonewton per meter. Okay, so if you want to convert this UVL, that is uniformly varying load, to a point load, then you can do one thing. You just draw the beam, apply hinge support here and roller support over here, and you can apply the point load over here, and make sure that the magnitude of load will be W into this span length. Let's say this span length is L. Okay, so W into L divided by 2. That means this magnitude we have calculated with the help of area of triangle. So as you know that area of triangle will be half this base into height, B into H. So because this maximum weight or maximum load is W, so this is height of UVL and this span length is L. So we are saying that total magnitude of load will be W into L by 2. And you can see that I have applied this point load at some eccentricity from the middle. Suppose this is the center point of the beam, but I am not applying this point load at the center. The reason is that this UVL is not uniformly distributed, but means it is more, the intensity is more towards rightward. So we have to find out the centroid of this triangle, right? And as you know that the centroid will be, if you measure from base, then the centroid will be at 2/3 of base from this end and 1/3 of base from this end, right? So this length should be L by 3 and this length should be 2L by 3. So in this way you can convert uniformly varying load into point load. Next type of load is known as applied couple. So here you can see the beam is subjected to a moment at the center. So this is the third or fourth type of the loading condition, right? Now let's identify. So this one is point loading, this is UDL, and this one is uniformly varying load, and this we call as applied couple on the beam. Okay. Then comes different types of beams based on loading condition and support conditions. So this type of beam, so this is a beam, right? And it is supported by a hinge support and roller support and subjected to a point load. So this type of beam you will call as simply supported beam, simply supported beam. And its free body diagram you can draw very easily, because we know that for hinge support we apply horizontal and vertical friction. So here you have applied HA and VA, and point load is applied over here. And for roller support we are getting vertical reaction. So in this way you can draw the VD. So total there are three unknowns, HA, VA, and VB. So these three unknowns you can find out from three constraint equations or system equations. So these equations are very means known to you. One is summation of or balancing horizontal forces. Second one is vertical force balance, and third one is moment balance. Okay, fine. Next type of beam is cantilever beam. So in this cantilever beam, you can see that one end of the beam is fixed and the other end of the beam is supported or subjected to a point load So its FBD will be somewhat like this one, where for a fixed support we are applying a horizontal reaction and a vertical reaction and also a moment. Okay, MA, and external load is applied over here. So again, if you apply these three constraint equations, then you can find out these three unknowns, HA, BA, and MA. Good. Next type of beam is known as overhanging beam. So here you can see that the beam is supported by this hinge and roller again, but roller is not supporting the beam at the end, and so in this way roller support is acting. So this, in this case, you can see that some portion of the beam is hanging outward. Okay, so this type of beam will we will call as overhanging beam, and two forces are acting. So you can draw figure diagram. So it is very simple. So I think I don't need to explain it. And it is very important to know that these types of problems are commonly referred as statically determinate beams, because if you apply these three constraint equations, then you can find out all the unknowns. So there are, here you have three unknowns, three equations. Here again you have three unknowns and three equations. Here again you have three unknowns and three equations. You can find out all the unknowns or reactions. But there are certain types of beams where you cannot solve them, or you cannot find the reactions using statics or using these force balance and moment balance. These types are, the first type is this one. This one is known as continuous beam, and here you can see several redundant supports are used for supporting this beam. For example, only these two supports are enough. So these two supports are enough to make this beam in equilibrium, but you are using one additional roller support and additional supports. These, basically these three roller supports are redundant. So if you are using redundant supports, then you will call the beam as continuous beam, and solving such type of beam through force balance or moment balance is not possible statically. So we call them as statically indeterminate beams. Okay. You can draw three body diagram, but you cannot find out these many unknowns through three equations that are force balance and moment balance. Okay. Then other type is this cantilever beam, where you have again applied a roller support. This roller support is not required for maintaining this beam in equilibrium. Okay, so that's why you cannot solve the all the reactions. There will be four reactions and three equations, so you cannot find the reactions. So this type of beam is known as cropped cantilever. Okay, the next type is a cantilever which is fixed at both the ends, and this type of beam is known as fixed beam, and this is the theory diagram of the beam. So these three types of beams are those types where you are using redundant supports which are not required for equilibrium. So these type of problems we call as statically indeterminate structures or frames or beams. Okay, clear. Next we can solve this problem, this example.